want to purposefully introduce these two species, these two individuals, these two groups. I purposefully want to introduce these two groups of these two tribes, these two civilizations, these two potential civilizations together, because I want to see how they react to one another. And depending on how they react to one another is what will motivate and inspire the next thing I introduce to them. So, for example, if they somehow become enemies of each other, maybe I'll throw in something that becomes a common enemy, or maybe a golden age, or maybe something that unites them. So depending on how they react to one another, and the result of the scenario will determine what they're going to have to put up with for the next couple rounds, we'll say. So this is round 2. Let's see what this thing is. A condition. That's heavy. This can be either really, really good or really, really bad. Holy smokes, the shit's about to get real. A condition is introduced to this world. A condition. What kind of condition could this be? Shit's about to get real. Yo, a condition? The question's gonna be, is this a positive condition? Is this a positive effect? 50-50. No. I'm gonna roll 3 results to this question, and I'm going to interpret from those results what it is negative about this condition. What is negative about this condition? Struggle/outside. Antagonize/randomness. Separate/dispute. This condition is going to cause the individuals in their groups, in their own civilizations, it's going to cause a rift. It's going to separate them. It's going to make some of them at random, or maybe infrequently, have outbursts that make them an enemy, and they become a problem because they antagonize and they can't control it. There's a randomness to it. Not only they can't control what it is, whatever was given to them. It makes them an enemy, and it makes them an enemy of someone, maybe even to themselves. Struggle/outside. They struggle with being outside. They have to be separated because of this. What does this look like? Just so I can really zero in on what this condition is, let's ask, how do we describe this condition? Very/lean. Generously/glorious. Partially/lean. They become emaciated a little. We'll say they become emaciated, yes. We'll say they become lean, very thin. When I see glorious, I feel like they feel great about themselves, physically and mentally. Ironically, they become at peace. It dulls them, but they feel glorious. What is this uncontrollable hostility? What is causing this uncontrollable hostility that makes them go into these spells? Violate/attention. I'm starting to feel like they become almost psychopathic. They don't want to be seen. This mental fog makes them feel at peace. They are nullified. They become nullified, and they can no longer stay above ground. Their body is essentially weaker. Their brain becomes weaker. And when they are seen, they become hostile. So this is like a sickness. What does this thing look like when it comes? When they all see it, what form is this thing coming in? Obviously, it's something they're all going to need to approach. What is it? What does it look like? Beautifully/pale. Fully/hard. Hopelessly/rotten. Is it living? 50-50. Yes. Random event, NPC action, ruin/randomness. This thing is living, and it's going to ruin. We don't know who yet, because it's going to be random. It's going to ruin whoever contracts this condition. It's rotten. It's a corpse. Is it the corpse of a god? I'm gonna say, because I like that idea, very likely. No. Something lesser, very likely. Yes. Random event, NPC action, work hard/tension. It's rotting. Is this thing dying? 50-50. No. Power scale wise, is this thing greater than them, or is it on a similar scale of power level? Is this thing more powerful? Likely, because it just landed, right? And still alive. I'm gonna say near sure thing. Yes. Dramatically more powerful? Likely. Yes. Okay, it's good to know. But I'm gonna say that it is elegant looking. It's going to be injured now, but eventually when it gets better, it might change its look. So I want to leave this really vague for now, but I'm going to say it's elegant looking, hopelessly rotten. So perpetually rotten. It's always rotting. Actually, no, we're going to say that it's rotting because it's wounded. It's been wounded for a while, so it needs to heal. It hasn't healed yet. That's why the condition is spreading. It's not just radiating because for the hell of it. It's probably because this thing, whatever inside of it, its blood, its guts or whatever, it's a contaminant. And so because it's rotting, it's oozing out this cancerous condition, this brain rotting condition. We know it's far stronger, far greater, not godly, but it's significantly more powerful at this point in time for them. It's intelligent, and it's hostile. It's likely hostile. It's hostile. We're going to say it's going to be hostile, and it's intelligent. And it's just one of them, and it landed. It looks wounded, so maybe it wasn't intentional. This thing is going to ruin whoever gets to it first. We're going to roll to see who gets to this thing first. And whoever gets to it first is going to contract this condition. Not only that, but this thing is still living. It's a greater entity. Whatever it does, it's going to work hard at it, and it's going to cause a lot of tension. So it's probably going to be hostile. Let's just cut to the chase. Is this thing going to be hostile? I'm going to say very likely. Yes. Is it very intelligent? Likely. Yes. Their approach. Okay? They're going to obviously approach this thing differently. And there's some things that we need to consider. Let's start off with the Rockians. Now, the Rockians, we know that their strengths, they're warrior people. We know that their strength was the bleak tongue, which allows the bleak one of them to, this is a legendary ability, to commune with dead warriors for the purpose of teaching and passing down techniques and knowledge, preserving them endlessly. So this is their first time encountering this, so that might not help much. But think about this. If they do end up getting this disease first, and they have people that start dying from the condition that they get for any reason, they're going to learn something really interesting from that condition and that whole experience that will potentially allow them to overcome this. All right. And then the Wet Crispians, with their way of infinite creedisms, grants a bonus to all forms of development based on population size. This could hurt them because this could dwindle their population. If you think about it, if too many people get this, and if it, depending on how many people it impacts and how it spreads, is this condition something that's going to spread? Yes. Yes. This creature that lands, this being. So when the Rockians see this, how do they react to this? Do they react? I imagine it's with curiosity. Are they curious? Likely. Yes. Are they hostile towards it? Likely. Yes. I would say that they decide to come up with a plan of approach. How do they decide to approach this thing? Care/food. Stop/ambush. Attract/travel. They are going to plan to obviously travel to this thing. It can potentially be something of nutrients, some food, maybe they can capture it. Whatever it is, they want to acquire it and care for it, or if it's food, they want to acquire it. And they're going to attempt to stop it by way of obviously trapping it, ambushing it, surrounding it. Maybe they're going to lure it, they're going to try to attract it into an ambush. And it's going to require a lot of travel, so they're probably leaving now. Are they leaving now? Like immediately? Is it so curious and hostile? I'm going to say very likely. No. Wow, 92. They're not. That's because their leader's saying, hold on. We got to be smarter than that. The bleak-tongued one is saying we got to be smarter than that, and he or she should know, because the spirits that they commune with are telling them, like, you don't run headfirst into an unknown. They've all seen it, and they're like, man, they've never seen that before. It came from the sky. They're like, no, more planning. Are they going to take more time planning? Very likely. Yes. Is this going to result in a chance of them not getting there first? For now, based off what we know right now, likely. Yes. Random event. Move towards a thread. Return/technology. The bleak-tongued one, the one with the bleak tongue, is saying, we need to take our time. And yeah, it could be an animal, it could be food. But what if it's not just food? This is something we've never seen before. What if it's something that's not food? What if it's something like it could be anything. It could be a machine. It could be something. And what he's referring to is, it could be technology. It could be a machine. It could be something they've never seen before. They've never seen technology. So in the vein of that, he's saying, when I see this move towards a thread, this is pretty much complementing what just the previous choice, which was to pull back, return. Let's pull back a little bit and talk about the possibility of this being something else. And that's coming from the communion with the souls. You know, the council, they probably reached out. They probably said, hey, you know, in our experience with fighting things we've never seen before, we know, and what we've learned is that we should not assume. That's why, you know, this person's dead. This is how I was dealt a fell blow. It got me first because I wasn't expecting it to be something that could take flight, you know, or what have you. That kind of intuition can only come from a council of those who have learned to communicate amongst each other, even in death. What is it exactly that they do? Is there anything special about these plans that they're making? How would we describe these plans? What is the main objective of this plan? Divide/rumor. Okay, so they're going to use this to, they're going to attack from different sides, from different angles likely. They're going to attack this rumored potential threat that's not food. They're used to hunting food and capturing food, but whatever this is, there's a possibility of something else. They're going to have to divide and conquer. So it's going to be something along the lines of splitting their approach. The Wet Crispians, on the other hand, when they see this, how do they feel about this this thing that they see? What is their immediate reaction? How would we describe their immediate reaction? Abuse/war, lie/animals, God/dreams. You know, amongst these microcosms of subgroups and with all these beliefs and ideas and opinions, the majority of the groups were able to come to one simple conclusion. And they were able to form these groups that have been able to come to a compromise and support each other like they do. And there's these two groups. One wants to abuse and attack and exploit. The other wants to observe, learn, and potentially use that to get to help their dreams come true, whatever they may be. Are they able to come to an agreement to the point where they can carry out their goals without being negatively impacted by the dispute? Are they able to come to a compromise in time? Unlikely. No. Does this delay the window of time that they get to this object when they approach it? I would say somewhat likely. Actually having a small impact. It definitely does. So much so, random event NPC negative would be friend/liberty. This causes a civil war. This causes a fracture in the group. One group, once they came to a decision, one group decides to split off from the civilization. This is going to be a negative for for the Wet Crispian, in the form of, and I'm going to assume this isn't a large group of the civilization, but a significant chunk of the civilization that decided to move away. Which group is it going to be? Is it going to be the ones who wanted to approach it with hostility, or is it going to be the ones that wanted to approach it be more reserved and a little bit more benevolent? Is it the ones that wanted peace? Are they the ones that are leaving? 50-50. No. The ones that wanted to, we'll say the ones that wanted to exploit, go to war and approach it with hostility, they're the ones that decided to leave off and break off. This is getting really messy, just like we thought, right? The infinite creedism, you know, so they're supposed to be able to work through that. But in this scenario, it seems, you know, with that exceptional yes and all the other roles, it seems that it has created a rift. And a small portion of this group are more hostile. They're more on the hostile side, obviously, and they're breaking off, and they're probably going to it. They're going to be a little late, but they're going to it. The group that wants to just observe, are they going to go to it? Because if they're going to go to it, then we have three parties approaching. That's going to be crazy. Are they going, or are they staying behind? Are they going to go? I think they're also smart enough to know that if they go, they're going to be fighting. So I feel like that would affect the odds. Are they going to go? Unlikely. Knowing them, they think that they could probably talk or reason with them. Somewhat likely. They're going. We had two groups of Wet Crispians going with two different agendas. Was this a violent breakup? Was this a violent breakup? I'm going to say very unlikely. Yeah, no. Okay. So that's going to get messy. All right, so we have to figure out who gets there first. Now we know, based off of everything that happened, the Rockians are going to get there a little slower, but the Wet Crispians are going to get there even slower. Like, they had an exceptional setback, and it's going to be a race to get there. Remember, they're racing to get there, so we're going to treat it as that. There's also a third group. We're going to first roll the Rockians versus the Wet Crispians, and then if the Wet Crispians are the ones that get there first, being that they were subjected to the same setback, if they're the ones that get there first, we're going to roll to see if it was the pro-war Wet Crispians or the pro-study, we'll call it, Wet Crispians, with the pro-war ones having an advantage because they left sooner. We're going to do a little rank versus rank here. We're going to say the Rockians are up top, okay? And we're going to say the Wet Crispians are on the bottom. The Rockians, their rank of approaching, they're on foot, measured approach, warrior people. We're just going to say, above average. Above the average thing that's going to go to somewhere. They're going with purpose, so they're marching. But they had a minor setback, so I'm going to give them a -1 for that little minor measured approach time, little planning time. And then the wet crispians, we have to remember that they have rain ghosts. They all have their own rain ghosts. There's a lot of rain ghosts. And rain ghosts are non-hostile horned beasts made of mist, incredibly large and often transparent beasts now domesticated by the wet crispians. These things fly, they're large beasts. They're likely flying on them. So they're probably getting there a lot faster, to be honest with you. So with that being said, they're getting there a lot faster. I'm going to say that this brings them to exceptional, but I'm going to give them a -2 for that exceptional setback, that whole Civil War disagreement they had. And I'm going to say it's going to be above average -1 versus exceptional -2. So that's almost bringing them even. You know, the wet crispians still have a minor advantage. They have a little bit of an advantage despite their major setback. Whoever gets there first gets the condition. Did the Rockians win this? No. 76. They needed anything under a 35. Despite their major setback, the wet crispians get there first. They're on the backs of oh shit. What if the condition affects what if it affects the rain ghosts as well? They would die because they need to be outside. They can't go underground. Who gets there first? The wet crispians that were pro-war. They got a little head start, teeny bit. We'll put both of them at average. Because the pro ones, we'll have them up top here. Because they went first, we'll give them a little bonus. Also, I'm gonna give them a bonus because they're more about the smoke. They want it. They're probably marching. I'm gonna take both of those bonuses away because of the delay. All right, for the ones that are pro study, I'm going to take away 2 for the delay. I'm gonna take away another for leaving later than the others. Do the pro war wet crispians get there first? Yes. What does this thing look like? I'm going to roll what this thing looks like. Okay? And then I'm going to let you all determine what is its first initial goal. What does this thing want to do? It's intelligent. There's one, it's injured. It looks mortally injured. What is its next? What's going to be its primary goal here? Leave in the comment section, but only leave it under my post that I'm going to post. The one with the most likes is going to get selected. The one I like the most, personally, is also going to get selected, and I'm going to meld them together. In the comment section under my question, tell me what this thing's goal is. What is this thing? Is the question now. Is it an animal? Could it be just a really smart animal? Or is it some intelligent humanoid being? Is it a character or is it a monster? Is it a character? I'm going to say very likely. Yes. I'm going to roll some physical character traits for this character. Large. Average. Beautiful. Okay. All right, let's use the creature crafter. I'm going to roll some characteristics for this creature. Warm. Air. Silent. Is this thing humanoid? Yes. What is the most significant characteristic? The most unique characteristic about this entity? Elegant. Is it wearing something? Is it wearing clothes? Very likely. This is a being from another planet. Is this thing in a vessel? Was this thing in some sort of pod? Likely. No. Is this thing in some sort of we'll say that it is in some sort of, is it like a carapace? Some sort of carapace? Like a shell? That was hard? 50-50. Yes. It has a carapace. Some sort of beat, some sort of insectoid carapace. The air around it is warmer than usual. We'll say hot. The air around it is hot. There's a radius around it of hot air. And this air is what's poisonous. Toxic hot air. Radiates an aura of toxic hot air. We'll say silent in the sense of it doesn't seem to speak because it doesn't have a mouth. The heat is coming from the wound because it's open. That's what's generating that hot air. Their blood creates hot air. When they're bleeding, the air becomes hot and toxic. The pro wets get there first and they contract the condition. Does this also affect rain ghosts? I'm gonna say very likely, and it's gonna do something different. I'm gonna roll to see if it affects them even in a different way. Very likely. Doubly so. I'm gonna say whatever it does, it's gonna change them physically as well. Well, it is gonna change them physically, but it's gonna do something extra. I'm gonna roll an ability for it. It does something extra. Physically, mentally, what changes on the creature? Opposed/fame. So it's the opposite of what they're famed to be. They're famous for being big creatures that are non-hostile, but no longer the case. It's the opposite of that now. They become hostile. Do they become feral now that they're more hostile? Yes. What changes about them? Rudely / fresh. Physically, this is a physical description. Rudely / fresh. I'm going to say that what used to be fresh mist has become more of a distorted color, a darker color. So they less mist. The rain becomes that their mist is more dense now. It's more of it's a darkened mist that's black. When they get there, are they immediately attacked? Are they met with hostility by this entity? Yes. When this thing obliterates, what does that entail? What is this intelligent humanoid insectoid-esque pale-skinned wounded being with toxic blood capable of doing? What could it possibly be able to do? Well, we're going to roll on the ability table, the mythic ability table, and we're going to roll a couple times until we can flesh out something. Now this is a superior being. We'll need to keep that in mind, because that's going to determine and help us determine the magnitude of these abilities. What is it doing? What is it doing? Let's find out. Light, proximity, exotic. This thing emits an alien light. It emits an alien light, and when you're close enough, this light can have some terrible effects on you. This thing can create some sort of light that is used to repel and obliterate. I'm gonna roll one more. I feel like there's a missing piece here. Others. This ability is a disposable ability. There's an object that is being used, and we can see that there are others. It has more than one of whatever it is that is emitting this light, that this destructive light. We're going to say that this light is some sort of exotic, unknown energy. That's where we'll get exotic. That's how we'll interpret exotic. This is an unknown energy, unknown to these people. And when you come within proximity, emitting this light seems to be pretty damaging and effective. But we'll also see that this thing, there are numbers of this thing. This resource seems to be finite, maybe something that needs to be charged. We don't know, but what we do know right now is that this device, what is this? Is it a device? Does it look like it could be technology? I'll say likely. Yes. What does it look like? Gracefully macabre. I'm going to say that this device is being worn on him. This strange device is being worn as a part of its tattered, strange, odd-looking clothes. It kind of gives a sense of dread because it's so unknown and mysterious. And this device is being worn and it complements this clothing. What else about this device? Dentally / ancient. It seems to be in bad condition. It seems worn. It seems worn. This is what it's going to use to wreak havoc. They get obliterated by this thing. Are any of them able to get away to create this subspecies that could potentially become a thing here? Do any of them get away to repopulate? I would like that, so I'm going to say likely. Yes, so they're able to still get away, but majority of them get wiped out. Man, so they get there first, they get diseased and then attacked. Are any of the feral rain ghosts able to get away? I'm going to say only a couple of the feral rain ghosts get away, so that they're rarer. These are hostile. That's a problem. I'll say 50-50. Is more than one able to get away? Yes. I'm going to roll a d6. That's how many of these feral ones exist now. 4 of them. 4 of them. And what is their ability? What is this? What do they have? What is this ability that they gained? Ranged. It's a ranged. Okay, so whatever it is, it's ranged. I'm going to roll again on the mythic ability table. Climb. Okay, so they are now no longer do they fly. They can also climb as well, probably because they got a little bit more denser, a bit more heavier. And this, and what else? Detect. I'm going to combine that with range because I was only rolled again to see, to flesh out what ranged is. They can detect from a range when they're touching the earth. When they're touching the ground, whatever they're touching, they have like a tremor sense at a good range. So they can get tremor sense. I'll combine it into one. They get one ability, and that ability is to be able to land, to touch the planet, and use their tremor sense, this range detection, when they're able to now attach themselves to the ground and be able to detect their prey. And that makes sense because these are obsidian mountains. These mountains are they're black mountains, and they are now more dense in color. They're black because they are corrupted, they are diseased, and so they're probably more camouflage, and they probably become a pretty hostile creature in the ecosystem, this new building ecosystem. Eventually, the other groups come. We'll just say they arrive at the same time. What is it how do they react to seeing this group getting obliterated. Let's start with the Rockians first. The Rockians are probably confused. Do the Rockians watch and let it be finished? I would say very likely. I would say near sure thing. Yes. That's why they wanted to take a different approach. They see this from two different angles. Because of these two different angles, they can see that we should probably not approach. This thing is very powerful. Matter of fact, do they retreat? I feel like they would retreat. Do they retreat when they see this from afar? Near sure thing. They retreat. Does this entity, this unknown entity, does it see them when they arrive? For all we know, this thing has crazy detection abilities. I'm gonna say likely. Yes. The observing wet Crispians. Do they approach? They probably don't, right? Do they approach though? Do they help? Do they try to help them? Somewhat likely. Do they try to help? I want to be fair. Do they try to help? Yes. Does this entity also obliterate them? 50-50. Yes. Random event. PC positive. Abandoned / war. Yes, but they get a good amount of them get away. A good amount of them get away. The PCs in this situation, we're going to say, are the pro-West, the non-hostile wet Crispians. They abandon, but they do start getting obliterated, but not all of them. That was wild. That was wild. It was just meant to be a condition. The condition is the focus. The real takeaway is that there is now a whole species, a whole new species of diseased wet Crispians that are hopefully or they might become something else. They kind of did. Some sort of subspecies of a subspecies. What is this thing's purpose here? Unfortunately, the wet Crispians, divided they fall. Maybe this is a blessing. Maybe this is the silver lining, is that now the ones that were left are the ones that are going to build their civilization with the foundation of people that all had the same beliefs or similar. That makes it more powerful, because obviously they're going to branch off into more infinite rabbit holes of opinions and theories and philosophies and virtues, but it's all going to be derived from a common ground, because the other ones kind of got severed, but they do still exist underground. Who knows what they will evolve into? We don't know what's even underground. They might find something. They're going to be a subset of the wet Crispians. This is going to be more of a weakness to them. So whenever I'm deciding on something for the wet Crispian's fate, I'm going to roll to see which one it's affecting. One is always going to get in the way of the other. Can they even survive amongst each other? They don't want to be seen. So maybe they're going to end up becoming lone wolves. Maybe they split off and form smaller, lesser groups, because, you know, they're all about ideas and congregation of ideas. Maybe they'll become different covens of just radicals. Then they learn to live amongst each other. They learn about their condition and how to handle it. Man, I don't know. We'll have to see how that goes.